Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm calling out all E46 owners, especially the M3 ones. What's cracking, mate? Here we have a customer's BMW E46 M3 in for subframe reinforcement. If you're not an E46 owner, or especially the M3 owner, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but pretty much all E46 owners, especially the M3 ones, knows what the subframe reinforcement is, because this is a major failure in the chassis, if that's what I could say. Because especially the M3, because I'm guessing the torque, the power, the banging noise, switching the gears, harsh driving makes the boot floor weak and cracks. Obviously I've seen it on 330s, 330D or 330i, and M3s is more specific, and it's showing lately more and more. And when it comes actually selling the car, this is a one-off key point. Is it actually being done or not? At the same time, whilst the subframe is off, it's good to change all the bushes. And well, in our case, we done a subframe refurb. We sandblasted and powder coated, installed the new bushes, subframe bushes, installed all the hub bushes. Like pretty much all the bushes are changed in the same time, because as you see, subframe is off. So why not do in the same time before it goes on? Like, so you don't, pretty much for the back end, you don't need to come back. Right guys, let me introduce to E46 owner's worst nightmare, for those ones who doesn't know. As you see, most of the areas where the welding will be done is cleaned off. Still need a tiny bit more, but the main thing what I need to show you is visible. So when people saying they're inspecting the subframe, yes, when they're gonna drop the subframe, they'll obviously gonna see this. This is obviously obvious crack, but they're not gonna notice probably hairline cracks like these. And also, let's say, what was it down here? You can only start to seeing these when everything is off and cleaned off. Otherwise, can you just imagine seeing crack behind the mastic? And also here on the sides, all this needs to be welded up. This usually starts to crack on where in this case the mastic was already cracked off, but the spot weld seems to be all right, just tiny bit cracked there, but nothing major. Surprisingly, this vehicle for 200 miles seemed to be all right, because there is cases where literally whole boot floor comes off. And yeah, so obviously gonna repair all the cracks first, and then gonna weld the plates on. Let's crack on. All right guys, one plate of 4 is done. So this is what I've done. Where was the hairline cracks, I've tiny bit welded on over there, just grinded slight bit of edge, so obviously there is no gap between the plate and the sides, the subframe itself. So this is what I've done on that side, so on here as well, just so I can hide all the cracks, so everything is nice and tight. So one plate is done. Don't judge on my welds. Is what it is. But only thing what I forgot, to be honest, is prime the plate. So I'm gonna prime the rest of it before I weld all 3 of them on. But this is how it looks, more or less. So each spot, bend the metal, catch the edge, then obviously bend it, make sure it's close to the, there is no gap between the plate and the chassis itself. So let's continue. So this is how it looks inside the plate. That's the inner side of the plate, so outer obviously gonna be painted afterwards. Yeah, just forgot one plate to be honest, but it's all right, it's gonna be all right. So let's get these welded on. So primed and mastic applied, looks nice and tidy. Now I'm gonna wait probably about 24 hours, maybe more. Obviously plastic's gonna dry up, and then I'm gonna apply the probably matte black paint, so it doesn't shine too much. So this is more or less done. Now let's put a subframe back on. Looks, I would say, more or less original as from factory. Obviously you can still see the plates being welded, so I mean this is just underside. It looks nice and tidy, so we can put everything back together. Right guys, I'm done with the customer's E46 M3. Everything's back together, everything's just tested. As you can see, it's quite dirty at the moment because I've been driving back and forwards to make sure there is no funny noises. Everything seems to be alright. Only thing what left to do is wheel alignment, because as you saw, we installed camber arms, and obviously we messed slightly with the wheel alignment, so that needs to be done. Apart from that, she's ready to go. And well, as you saw, it was a big important job. This is probably main reason why I'm not driving my one, because rod bearings and rear subframe is must on these cars. So I probably will do at some point my one, but not today because I need to focus on other projects. But you enjoyed this video, it was useful, smash the like, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.